Hi, everybody. This is Eric from longboxreview.com. And today I'm back to do a little sharing, a little show and tell for new and interesting comics that I found in the previews catalog. But since I can't show you the catalog, I am sharing my screen here to show the website that I use to pre-order my comics. And that is DCB Service, DCBS, DCBService.com. I know other people use this site and do a similar thing, but here's my take on stuff that I wanted to point out and that I may pre-order. So let's see. This is just the pre-order site here. I have a bunch of things to show you. The first one up here is from Dark Horse. This is, it's called This Damned Band. It's a 6-issue miniseries set in 1972. The world's most famous rock band thought they were, quote, worshiping Satan, unquote, only to find out they actually were worshiping Satan. This is from Paul Cornell and Tony Parker, whom I'm not familiar with. Tony Parker, that is. Paul Cornell, however, has a really good track record as far as comics that he writes. So this looks like a lot of fun. I'm not sure that I'll get it, but it certainly interests me because I like period pieces and I like Paul Cornell. Next up is Dark Horse. Complete Love Hurts trade paperback. I don't know why I just said Dark Horse again. Anyway, Complete Love Hurts trade paperback. This is from Kim W. Anderson, and it's apparently that's Kim Anderson is a Swedish comics creator. This is his debut in the U.S., and this trade paperback delivers, as it says, a shocking series of short stories about love gone horribly wrong, romance comics with brutal, terrible twists which show that no matter who you are or what you do, love can be one deadly bitch. I thought this was kind of interesting. The cover looks kind of neat. I am interested in this, but I'm curious. It seems like, I don't know, maybe I'm just buying into the whole Valentine's Day shtick, but why not wait until, for release in February for something like this? Then again, it is coming up on the summer months, and that's when you get a bunch of weddings too. So, I guess it doesn't really matter. But it looks like a lot of fun, so I might check that out. There is this is a gallery edition, Murder Mysteries and Other Stories from P. Craig Russell, featuring stories from Neil Gaiman, H.P. Lovecraft, Ray Bradbury, Mike Mignola, Clive Barker, and Oscar Wilde. That's a lot of really good talent there. But the cover price for this is $125. That is really steep. But it is a gallery edition. And boy, I really want this, but I don't think I can afford $125. That's a little over half of what I spend on comics a month. So on one book. So I don't think I'll be getting it. Moving on to DC, I just want to point out the DC Comics bombshells, number one. So DC put out these statues, these bombshell edition statues, and I've seen seen the images on other things like glasses and T-shirts and stuff. Well, apparently they're bringing the bombshell characters into comic form. This is from writer Marguerite Bennett and artist Marguerite Savage. I don't know. The cover art that we're seeing here is from Aunt Lucia. Is that a thing? That seems like a pseudonym. Maybe not. Let's see. I just thought it was interesting. It's also, by the way, DC Comics is doing a Bombshells variant month, which you can see here. Grayson number 11, the Bombshells variant cover featuring the Flying Graysons with Dick Grayson doing his first solo performance. I probably will order the variant here for Grayson, even though I normally don't go for variant covers. It just looks really cool. And the cover artist for this one is Emanuela Lupacchino. To coincide with the release later this summer of Justice League of America Gods and Monsters, here is the Wonder Woman one-shot tie into that. Last month, they had the Batman and Superman versions of those, and I as I wrote on the blog longboxreview.com, I did do a previews every month. I do a previews posting, just kind of going over everything that catches my eye in previews, sort of like what I'm doing here. And I noted that there was a lack of Wonder Woman last month, and so conspicuously absent she was. And so I'm glad to see that they finally are releasing Wonder Woman's one shot. Maybe DC wanted to do 2 comics per month relating to Gods and Monsters, because we also have the Gods and Monsters 3-issue miniseries featuring all the characters here. More DC goodness, the Multiversity Deluxe Edition hardcover from Grant Morrison, Ivan Reis, Joe Prado, and Rufino on the cover. So this is like I said, this is the deluxe edition hardcover. So you get a slightly oversized version of the Multiversity stuff, which was really good. I don't know if you got the individual issues, but it was a lot of fun. So I'm probably going to have to get this. $50 though. Retail. Is it worth it? I think so. This Suicide Squad trade paperback. This is the first volume. Trial by Fire is the title, but this collects stories from Suicide Squad number 1 through 8 and Secret Origins number 14. This is from John Ostrander with McDonnell and Kessel on art. So this is stuff from, I want to say, the 80s. Doesn't say what time period. Anyway, all I've heard is that the Suicide Squad from Ostrander was really good, and so I just wanted. It's $10 from DCBS, $20 regularly. So I might have to get that too. Here's another one of those I might have to get. Batman Year 100. This is also a deluxe edition. Wow, I don't know. Too many hardcover collections that I want here. But this is by Paul Pope with Jose Villarrubia doing this. I really enjoy Paul Pope's art in general, although I'm not too thrilled about the cover image that they're showing here. So I don't know. I really like Paul Pope, and he's doing Batman, so that should be a win-win, right? But we'll see. So this is a futuristic setting. It's set in the year 2039, and this Batman, long thought gone, is now the suspect in a murder. It's a collection of the 4-issue miniseries with never before published sketch material. Oh, God, another deluxe edition. I did not realize this when I was pulling all this stuff up. Crisis on Infinite Earths deluxe edition. $50 for that thing. Collects the entire 12-issue epic. Wow. If it had, it doesn't say, but if it had, like maybe some extra material, I would probably get it. But I have the original issues when they came out. I also have the trade paperback that came out, I don't know, 10 plus years ago. Do I need a hardcover edition of this? Really what I want is the absolute edition with the extra book that comes with it. So I'm looking for that. So if I can find that, I don't need this. But if you haven't read Crisis and you want a deluxe edition version of it, here you go. This is fun. So I think last month DC Collectibles offered the Mask of Dr. Fate. You could get that, which I thought that was really cool. And here they're offering a book and mask set for Deathstroke. So that mask looks pretty cool. It's pretty cheap too, which means, of course, that the mask is cheaply made. So it's not like the Dr. Fate mask, which was really expensive because it was gold plated. I think one version was gold plated, I believe. Here's another hardcover, but this is the graphic ink version, the DC Comics art of Darwin Cook. Look at that! I love Darwin Cook stuff. It's just so much fun. This is the Silver Age Justice League shown here, but this hardcover collection collects stuff dating back to 1985's Talent Showcase number 19. I think that was actually called New Talent Showcase. Maybe not by number 19, but I have a few of those earlier issues, and it's definitely called New Talent Showcase. And stories from Batman Gotham Knights, Legion Worlds, JSA All-Stars, Jonah Hex, and more, plus dozens of covers. So there's a lot of monthly stuff of Darwin Cooks that I just don't have in my collection, but so this would be really nice to have. I don't think I can afford all this stuff this month. Speaking of not being able to afford, Frank Miller's Ronin Gallery Edition hardcover. If you're a fan of Frank Miller and especially his Ronin series, which I think came, I don't know if it came before or after The Dark Knight Returns. Oh, it says here in the text, Miller's evolutionary stepping stone between his Daredevil run and Batman The Dark Knight Returns comes alive in this oversized format. Yeah, so I got the original floppy editions of this, and just recently came in the mail a month or two ago the Ronin Deluxe Edition hardcover. So while this gallery edition would be kind of neat to have, I certainly don't need it. Even though it reproduces at original size on heavy paper stock, the issue, I don't really need that. I'm not a huge fan of of Frank Miller's art. It's okay, but the Ronin story is really cool. And so I have that already. I don't need this, but in case you are a huge Miller art fan, this is something that most people don't talk about in terms of his work. They usually talk about Daredevil or his Batman work. So Ronin's kind of the ugly stepchild of his work. So here it is. If you are looking for a jumping on point, I guess, for Astro City, and I don't know why you need a jumping on point. Just go buy the issues, because this book by Kurt Busiek and Brent Eric Anderson with Alex Ross covers has been fantastic through all the versions that they have been doing. This is just the latest version through Vertigo, but this is Astro City number 26. It's the big 20th anniversary issue. It all began in 1995 with a look at Samaritan's dreams of flight. And as you can see on the cover, there's a flying man flying up in the clouds. So is this a continuation of that? Or a sequel, so to speak? It says, but what's Samaritan dreaming about now, and how will it affect Astro City's future? This self-contained issue features a host of Astro City characters setting the stage for major developments to come. Whether you're new to the book or you've been reading all along, this issue is not to be missed. And yes, I have to agree with that. This book is just phenomenal. Give it a shot if you haven't already. All right, I'm going to pause just to see if anyone is around and asking questions. I don't see anything. Doesn't appear to be. So moving on. This is from IDW. I just wanted to point this out. This is Airwolf Airstrikes. It's a trade paperback. This is a tie-in to the 1980s, early 1980s, I believe, series Airwolf. Might be late 70s. I don't remember now. But this was a show that I watched. I think it only lasted 2 or 3 seasons, but I really enjoyed it. Growing up, what's not cooler than this super sleek, super fast helicopter that can blow things up, right? I won't be reading this, by the way. I just think it's funny to see that they produced a comic based on this very old TV series. And if they're going to do Airwolf, why don't they do Magnum? They should do a Magnum PI comic. Get on that, IDW. And IDW being the publisher that gets all these licenses, especially TV stuff. There's a few more. Millennium, which is a Carter creation of X-Files fame. This was his second show, I think, for Fox. Anyway, this is a show I really loved. It only lasted 3 seasons. But it was really good. It was very entertaining, and they did a 5-issue miniseries, which this trade collects. So, and it was a nice sequel to the television show because it featured Frank Black's daughter Jordan in an interesting way. So, if you missed the 5-issue series, you're a trade waiter for these kind of things, like I am sometimes. Miniseries, I sometimes wait for the trade. Here's your chance to pick up the continuation of the Frank Black Millennium story. And like I said, more TV adaptation stuff. Here's X-Files season 11. This is a new #1. So season 10 just ended. And so IDW is continuing the X-Files franchise with season 11. That's not something that I have been reading, nor do I intend to read this new season. But for fans of the X-Files, you get your X-Files fix. I have never read this book. I think this was turned into a movie as well. I meant to check that out before I got online here, but I didn't. But this is based on Nicholas Myers, who is the director of Star Trek 2 and 6. This is the 7% solution featuring Sherlock Holmes. And at the bottom of that cover, it says the astounding joint adventure of Sherlock Holmes and Sigmund Freud. So I'm probably not gonna get this, but it makes me want to go watch the movie because, like I said, I've heard over the years that it's pretty good. And if you're a Sherlock Holmes fan, which I am, but not enough apparently to get this comic, you may want to check this out. Next is String Divers. This was announced at the Emerald City Comic Con IDW panel that I went to, and I thought it was interesting. I think they showed this cover art there, and so you're seeing the subscription variant. I didn't care for the main cover art. There's not much said about String Divers. Hold on, let me grab my issue of previews to see what it says about String Divers. 1 second. Here we go. So for some reason, DCBS doesn't have the solicitation text. So it says, meet the String Divers, a renegade team called upon to save the universe from arcane threats at the sub-microscopic level. String theory made real and real thrilling in this story. So this is the first in a coming universe of comics developed from Ashley Wood's 3A Toys. So it's a toy tie-in or a toy prequel, if you will. I don't know. But it says fans of high-octane insanity and quantum physics, and who isn't, this is for you. This is from Chris Ryle as the writer, and Nelson Daniel doing the art. It's a 5-issue miniseries. I might get that. Definitely will be getting this, although I kind of want to maybe wait for the trade, but probably not, because this is the same team that does The Wicked and the Divine, Kieran Gillen, and oh wow, I'm blanking on his name, Jamie McKelvey. This is Phonogram. This is their next volume of Phonogram. There are 2 volumes before this. I have the first trade in my collection. I haven't read it yet. So this is the M Material Girl. This will be a 6-issue miniseries, And you can also order the both previous volumes of Phonogram at the same time if you want this month. If you want to just start on a Phonogram binge, but it promises to be good. Everything that I've read of Gillen and McKelvey's, I've liked. Young Avengers, Wicked and Divine. I have read. I said I didn't read the first Phonogram trade, but I have read like the first issue because it was free on Comixology, and I really liked it. So I'm really looking forward to this. This promises to be a very good series. I already have these issues. This is Nowhere Men Trade Volume 1 that they're doing. It's a new printing. This was an awesome comic, guys. If you haven't read this, this is by Eric Stevenson with Nate Bellegarde, Jordi Belair, and Phonographics doing the art. This was so much fun. High octane, crazy science, fun, time travel. Well, not time travel. But the different time periods we're being shown the story from different time periods. It's just a lot of crazy ass fun. Science is the new rock and roll is the tagline for this series. I wanted to point this out because I really enjoyed it. So you can get this. It's a $10 trade, or if you get it from DCBS, it's only $6. So that's pretty damn good for a trade collection. And more importantly, it's to kind of herald. It says here to herald the series return this fall, which I am just over the moon about. I can't wait to read more Nowhere Men. So this is awesome. Highly recommended, guys. Highly recommended. Moving on to Marvel. And I see that DCBS doesn't have any text here for the solicitation, so let me grab that. But this is, there's not much in Marvel that I was impressed about. But I saw this, Secret Wars, Secret Love #1. You got Ms. Marvel on there. And the cover looks vaguely Liechtensteinish. Not vaguely, looks quite a bit like that. But so the solicitation text says, "When worlds collide," referring to the Secret Wars event that's going on. You can see the two worlds in the background there. That's kind of cool. Can their love survive? Robbie Reyes, Kamala Khan. There's another, I guess these are separate stories. Typhoid Mary / Karen Page / Matt Murdock. What? That's crazy. And many more secret love affairs. So I'm probably going to get this. Although that $5 price tag, man, Marvel. If it wasn't for the discount I get from ordering through this site, I would not be reading probably much, if any, Marvel comics. Speaking of that, I just got done reading Daredevil 15.1, and that was also a $5 cover price for what was it, 28 pages? Or was it 30 pages? I think it was 28. Not counting the recap page, and that, I don't know, that just 8 more pages for $1 more. I guess, I don't know. It really bugs me though. So with Secret Wars, everything is turned topsy-turvy, and we get alternate versions of things going on here. This is one of those Howard the Human. So this is a take on Howard the Duck. So, the duck in a human world. Well, Howard is a human in a talking animal world here. But he's still a private investigator and the only human living in a city full of animals. Yeah. I thought that was interesting. It's Scotty Young is writing it with Jim Mahfood doing the art. It's probably not something I'll pick up. I just thought it was really interesting to show, and with Scotty Young doing the writing here and not the art. That probably would have been neat to see. I probably will pick this one up, though. This is Hank Johnson, Agent of Hydra. Let's see. This is by David Mandel. I'm not familiar with David's work. And Michael Walsh on the art. The cover you're seeing here is by Amanda Connor, which is nice. So the variant cover is done by the main artist, and it looks pretty good. So I'll just read this here. Hey there, comic reader. That's us. Have you ever wondered what Hydra agents do during their downtime? No? Well, then go read Hail Hydra. For everyone else with a burning desire to see a Hydra agent letting it all hang out, this is the book this is the book for you. Be thrilled as Hank picks up his kids from school. Be amazed as Hank talks with Hydra's HR department, and be stupefied as Hank wishes he had picked a different line of work. I guess David Mandela is a executive producer of Curb Your Enthusiasm, that TV show. Agent of Hydra will have you looking at faceless henchmen in a whole new light. So this kind of reminds me of the Kirby Crackle song. I think it's called I Want to Be a Henchman. And it's basically this story. So I think maybe Kirby Crackle should get some credit here, or, some financial consideration perhaps. But I'll be checking this out. Also from Marvel, this is not new stuff, but it's a new printing, looks like. This is AKA Jessica Jones, Trade 1 and 2. So also known as Alias. This is the Brian Michael Bendis, and I believe Alex Malev did this. Hold on. I think what you're looking at David Mack cover art. Hold on. Should have marked this in the Marvel's preview catalog. That's what everybody likes, dead air. Oh, no, I'm sorry. That was not Malev. That was Michael Gatiss and Bill Sienkiewicz did those. Oh, David Mack also penciled some of this stuff. So this collects, between these two trades, you're getting Alias 1 through 15, which was an excellent, excellent series. If you haven't read Alias, boy, you're missing out. One second. Let me again check here. Oh, I got somebody watching. Hello, viewer. What I'm showing here on the screen next is from Action Lab Entertainment. This is venture number 2. And I only point this out because I just found out about this. I glossed over it last month in previews with number 1, but this is a 4-issue miniseries from Jay Faerber and Jamal Igle, which is why I wanted to point it out. So Jamal Igle is known for many different things. He did a nice run on Supergirl that I need to go get. I heard it was good, but he's more recently did Molly Danger and is doing a Kickstarter for the next volume of Molly Danger. And so I'm just hyper aware of Jamal Igle right now. And then I saw this issue number 2 in this month's previews and decided to point that out to you as well. I am getting this. I will be getting this. I emailed DCBS and said, hey, can you add venture number 1 to my list? And they graciously did so. Next is, I just want to point this out, Afterlife with Archie. It's a new trade version, although it doesn't look like it is. This is the same exact trade that I ordered months and months ago, but in previews it says it's a new version. I just want to point this out because this was a really fun comic, and you should read it if you never were interested in Archie comics, or maybe you were years and years ago, like I was. Just like a lot of people. Especially my age, we got our start reading comics by reading Archie comics. And so here is this new take on Archie with the dead coming back to life and how they deal with it. So I'm really looking forward to the next volume. I see that they're now doing in the singles, they're doing the next continuation of that story. So I'm really looking forward for the trade paperback volume 2 of Afterlife with Archie. And I really wish they'd also get going on the Sabrina comic as well. That looks really cool too. But I'm still waiting for the trade on that one. For any Joe Benitez fans out there, Lady Mechanica is an interesting comic. I got the first miniseries that Benitez did, and I'm now currently reading the second volume of that, the second miniseries. But here you can get Lady Mechanica #0 as an introduction to the Lady Mechanica universe, which is kind of cool. And it's only cover priced at $1, so that's pretty good, or 70 cents if you get it from DCBS. So that's a pretty cheap comic right there. And like I said, I enjoyed it. You might too. Some new Boom Studios stuff. This is Welcome Back by author Christopher Sabella with Jonathan Brandon Sawyer on art. That's an interesting looking cover. So what I liked about this was, I guess the basic premise of this is that you have reincarnated assassins who are forever fighting, killing, and loving each other throughout endless lives. So I might have to pick this up, or at least I'll keep an eye on it for the eventual trade, I'm sure. But it seems like an interesting premise, so I might have to get that. Another interesting premise book is called America Town. This is from Bradford Winters and Larry Cohen doing the authoring, with Daniel Irizarry doing the art. I'm not familiar with any of those guys. It says here, part social commentary, part family drama. America Town asks, what if the American dream were no longer possible? So it looks like a dystopian future story. In their inaugural comic series, screenwriters Bradford Winters, who does Oz, Boss, Kings, things that are no longer around, and Larry Cohen, Phone Booth, Cellular. I never watched either one of those movies. Gives us a great story for fans of Transmet, Hacktivist, and the TV show Black Mirror, which I do not watch, although Transmet, that's a good comic. So after an economic collapse, Americans are illegally emigrating to other countries to find work, creating America towns wherever they go. And so we follow this character Owen in Buenos Aires to rejoin his family and his struggles along the way. Boy, that sounds kind of depressing, but interesting as well. And a nice cover by Mike Choi there. Here is Strange Fruit #2 from J.G. Jones and Mark Waid. So just like the Venture #2, I wanted to point this out because Strange Fruit #1 was solicited, I think, a month or two ago. I think that's accurate. Anyway, I think it was 2 months ago, because I remember thinking it was odd that it wasn't in last month's previews. But this is set in, I think it was in the late 20s, early 30s in Mississippi. I'd have to go back and look. But my impression of this was that it was like a Superman-like character showing up in the South in that turbulent time, and just promises to be, the J.G. Jones art looks really good, but having Mark Waid helping do the writing here, I think it's just going to be a really excellent story. So if you missed Strange Fruit #1, maybe you can ask your comic book shop or whatever service you use to add that to your list, because I think it's going to be really good. Sorry, I was just looking at the Hangout on air setup here. I think I screwed something up. Anyway, moving on. Dynamite has a new volume of The Shadow, written by Colin Bunn with Giovanni Timpano on art. This is a Jackson Geiss cover that we're looking at. Ooh, and it's an introductory price of $1 on the cover, or no money whatsoever if you order through DCBS. So I wasn't I wasn't going to get this when I first looked at it. I just wanted to point it out because it's a new Shadow, and I have a vague interest in the Shadow, and it's Cullen Bunn doing the writing, so I thought that might be kind of neat. But at that price, I might have to at least pick up the first issue. God, don't you wish comics were just $1 all the time? The old days. Of course, when I started getting comics regularly, they were only 35 cents. Oh man, I missed that. Let's see. This is Parallel Man from publisher Future Dude. Never heard of that publisher, but I thought the text of this was really interesting. Imagine a multiverse of infinite Earths. And I love those kind of stories. And we're going through a rash of that between the big two. Anyway, on one planet, an evil America called the Ascendancy enslaves a dozen other worlds, and ours is next. The only man who can stop it. And isn't there always only one man who can stop it? But this person is Nick Morgan, a rogue agent. Aren't they all? From the evil regime. Fight the Ascendancy in this explosive sci-fi adventure. So I guess this is a trade for $25. I really want to read this, but I don't know that I want to pay $25 for it, or even the discounted price I get. We'll see. We'll see how the total comes out when I actually do my order. Here's another one of those number 2, because I wanted to talk about this title, but I didn't do a video last month. This is Grant Morrison's 18 Days from Graphic India. So it's Grant Morrison, and although it says Grant Morrison and various writers, I wasn't aware of that. I thought it was just Grant Morrison. I think I may have been taken for a ride here, guys. But the artist is Jeevan Kang. I picked this up. I ordered pre-order number 1 because it's Grant Morrison, and I pretty much buy everything that he does. But this is 18 Days is the story of 3 generations of super warriors meeting for the final battle of their age, a climactic war that concludes the age of the gods and begins the age of man. There's a quote here from Grant Morrison: "The essential ambiguity, humanity, and realism of these characters, set in this incredible world of the imagination, gives 18 Days its unique flavor. The tone is modern, gritty, and emotionally real against a backdrop of technomythic superwar." That's a lot of telling, Grant. I hope you bring the show with it. Here's from Humanoids is the Olympus hardcover. And the reason I point this out is because Jeff Johns has something to do with it. So this is Olympian gods, legendary monsters, nowhere to run. In this high-octane adventure, chaos is unleashed when a group of brash archaeology graduate students and a team of ruthless mercenaries are shipwrecked together on the legendary Mount Olympus, populated by the deadliest monsters known to Greek mythology. So it's written by Johns and Chris Grimminger, who has done Witchblade, with Butch Geist doing art. Yeah, that's pretty good. $20 for this hardcover. That's not bad. So I'll probably pick that up to see what Jeff Johns is capable of doing besides his DC work. From North Atlantic Books is it says here now a major motion picture. I've not heard of this major motion picture. I'm sure it's coming. But this is The Diary of a Teenage Girl, an account in words and pictures by Phoebe Glockner. So this was published 13 years ago. So this is just a revised edition of this. It's a dark story of sex and drugs in the life of a 1970s teenage girl. In August there is an independent film that is being released. So that's what that's about. Yeah, so this just from slice of life type stuff. This looks really interesting. I really want to read this. So I wanted to point that out. Maybe you do too. From Titan Comics, who has the license to do Doctor Who stuff. They're doing a special event this summer. It's a weekly event, and it's a 5-part miniseries featuring 4 doctors. I presume the latest 3 and the War Doctor, because one of the variant covers, it's one of those variant photo covers, and it shows the War Doctor. Plus as you can see here, this white silhouetted, if that's even the correct term, character over here on the left has kind of the coat that I remember the War Doctor having from that special. I love Doctor Who, and I did get a few Doctor Who comics in the last few years, so I may want to get this. My 9-year-old girl loves Doctor Who as well, so maybe I'll get this so we can read it together, perhaps. I did like to. You don't see it here. I don't think I'm showing it here. No, I'm not. There are other variant covers besides this style, which this was the Neil Edwards is the artist. I'm not sure if Neil did the cover art here, but it's written by Paul Cornell. That's another reason why I probably want to get it. But so you have the main covers like in this style here, but you also have I think there's subscription covers, or I don't know. One of the variant covers, they're just photo covers, but another set of variant covers features the companions to the doctors on the covers instead of the doctor. So I thought that was really cool that they did that. I think we're out of the comics section, yeah. And I just want to point these out. Just like I said, I have kids, and I love choose your own adventure stuff. Although you can't, these guys can't, DC can't use that because it's a trademarked phrase. But they use the moniker "you choose," and so you got these little comics here where you can choose up to, as it says here on the cover, 10 possible endings for a Batman adventure. That's one of them. And then here is another one featuring some female villains, and this one has 12 possible endings. So I just love the idea of like I said, the choose your own adventure stuff. So if I can afford to get these, I probably will order these for my kids, and I'll read them too. Let's see here. Next up, okay, so I'm a big Star Trek fan, and I just saw this, the autobiography of James T. Kirk. It says the perfect book for Star Trek fans. Yeah, for those of us who dig Star Trek a lot, this might be kind of fun. So this chronicles the greatest Starfleet captain's life from 2233 to 2371 in his own words. This is written by David Goodman. From his youth spent on Tarsus 4, his time in the Starfleet Academy, his meteoric rise, or should say rise, not raise, through the ranks of Starfleet, and his illustrious career as captain of the Enterprise. So it's an in-world memoir. So it's as if Captain Kirk actually did write this. So with an afterword written by Spock is included in this. So man, $25 though. That's kind of pricey for this. How big is this book? $25. It can't be like a trade paperback, a mass trade paperback from the publisher. So probably it's a hardcover. I'm guessing an oversized hardcover. Anyway, but I really want to get it. And finally, for those fans of the Bronze Age, as I am, because I started collecting comics towards the end of the Bronze Age. Here is back issue. This is from Tomorrow's Publishing. They put out, I think, 9 or 10 of these issues a year. This is the latest issue that will be coming out in October, I think, anyway. But this features Supergirl in the Bronze Age. And so you see this nice recreation homage to Adventure Comics 397. If you're familiar with that, or if you're not, go look it up. It had Supergirl on the cover looking at a bunch of different costume ideas and suggestions from fans. So anyway, I'm really looking forward to that. We have the whole Supergirl TV series coming out later in the fall this year, and so this would be a nice way to familiarize yourself with Supergirl of the past as you watch the Supergirl of the now with her adventures on TV. So it'd be a lot of fun. Back issue always entertains me, always informs me, and I just dig it. So there you go. Those are my recommendations and things that I found interesting looking at this month's previews for things that are mostly shipping in, I believe, August. So let me see if I can stop sharing. And there I am. Hi, guys. There you go. That's what I have to share with you. Thanks for watching. Let me know if you are interested in any of these things. And if you end up reading them and liking them, let me know that as well. You can leave comments below where this video is posted. You can always go to longboxreview.com. That's where I post everything. And if you feel like it, you can always email me at longboxreview@gmail.com. That's all I got today. Thanks for watching, and go read some comics. Have a good day. Bye, guys.